we have to change as our world is transforming, which is what most people do not do. So they told us that professional success would be what determined happiness in life. How many professionals do you know has never known happiness, still in search of it, who have done really well professionally, financially, have made a lot of money, and have thought that if they would just get their professional lives right, then everything else would just fall in line? So many men and women now have gotten their degrees, many of them, many letters behind their names, and then they went to do the rest of it. Let's go find the spouse and get the house and get the dogs and get the 2.5 garages, nowadays more like 5. And then that is success. Well, a whole lot of people look good on the outside in the pictures, but internally, you know damn well you're suffering. Because that is what's happening in most households. They are lies. Your professional life is not the most important. Professional success is not life success. I know it's what they've told you. I know it's what they've told me. It's what they've told all of us. They outlined for us in America, and probably other places too, but in America in particular, it was absolutely to their advantage. So they outlined for us what success looks like. And every decade it changed, right? I've been here over 5 decades. So for me, black girl growing up in the South, for my family, it was, you have got to be educated because that is the key out. And where they were, that was true. It was in the space that we were in, and with my parents having fought for, my grandparents having fought for all that they fought for, getting an education was going to be what brought us out of the depths of the crap they had lived through. And every generation wants better for their children, for the most part. They want better for their children. So they do what they foresee as the next best thing for their kids. Because here in 2022, I don't know that education is the best thing. It's certainly the best thing for everybody. There are certain areas of education that are not necessarily indoctrination. I got another video on indoctrination. There are some levels of education, and education doesn't necessarily have to be formal. Because how is it that nowadays one of the best paid fields is development? And in internet development, program development, programming, IT, but many of them have never even been to school. They've been educated, but they have not been to formal schools. This thing has changed, and our world is transforming so quickly that we have to change as our world is transforming, which is what most people do not do. So they told us that professional success would be what determined happiness in life. How many professionals do you know has never known happiness, still in search of it, who have done really well professionally, financially, have made a lot of money, and have thought that if they would just get their professional lives right, then everything else would just fall in line? So many men and women now have gotten their degrees, many of them, many letters behind their names, and then they went to do the rest of it. Let's go find the spouse and get the house and get the dogs and get the 2.5 garages, nowadays more like 5. And then that is success. Well, a whole lot of people look good on the outside in the pictures with all of the glitter stuff and making them look good. It's why we have the housewives and all that other kind of crap and have people aspiring to it, because it makes it look good externally. But internally, you know damn well you're suffering, because that is what's happening in most households. You don't have to say it. The children who come out of it are clearly demonstrating the suffering that is going on. They are lies. Your professional life is not the most important. The most important is your personal life. The most important is getting to know who you are. The most important, more than anything, more than reading the books and going to the trainings and all of that stuff, because I was a personal growth junkie for a long time. And that was because I came out of dumb deep religion and all kinds of things. I got on a personal growth path mainly because I learned the origin of psychology, which the world of psychology does not consider at all. In fact, they squelched it, threw it out, and anybody who practices anything without their credentials, they invalidate. It's just an awful, awful world of psychology and medical and pharmaceutical, all wrapped up in one, protected by, supported by, and excused by our government. But here's the thing. If you want to really get in the driver's seat of your life and know what happiness is, you got to get to the core of who you are. The core of who you are has everything to do with understanding your natural ways of processing information, the ways that you process emotionally, and then the difference between that and how you actually present in the world. They're two entirely different things. How you present in the world has everything to do with how you were socially conditioned. They're two different things. So getting to the bottom, to the nitty-gritty of who you are so that you can actually get to some happiness instead of trying to fit into the boxes they've created, which is what everybody has done for the most part, until you do this work. And you can't get away from doing this work and know what it is to live authentically, to be happy, and to make some decisions for yourself. Because a lot of people have professionally done things they've hated for all their lives because they went to school for it. Well, you have suffered unnecessarily. There are things that you came here with natural propensities for, that if you can tap into those things right now, you will have a much more fulfilling life. If you do it for you, then you can support those around you. You come to a place of absolute acceptance for you, then you know what true compassion is for others. And then you can forgive things around you so much easier, particularly yourself. You don't hold on to things. Your mindset absolutely changes. Life just gets so much easier. That's what I invite you to do on this journey of you redefined and prepared. Prepared for a life of genuine love, because you, the true you, rises up above all of the conditioning. All right, that's all I have for you right now. It's your life. Choose it just as it is. Own it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Change it. As long as you can breathe and learn, it can get better. From Colombia, I'm Zara. Bye for now.